In the sixth module of this class, we took a look at how history has been shaped by an ever-globalizing world, and how historical artifacts and traditions are understood in a contemporary setting today. In the first source, Pierre Nova's essay, UGIS de Mémoire, or Realms of Memory, Nova describes a realm of memory as a place or object that has supplanted historic rituals because society more or less no longer has the time or wherewithal for rituals. In a world that values the new over the old, these realms of memory serve as reminders for what once was. Nova acknowledges, however, with the example of Bastille Day, that many of these UGIS de Mémoires have experienced shifts in meanings or interpretations over time, as those who created or quote-unquote worshipped the realms for its authentic value have passed on for the most part, and current viewers today never actually experienced the true meaning of memory, or true meaning or memory behind it, as they have not lived through it, but rather have only been told about it from others. The following source, a video montage of the Stolperstein, or Stumbling Stones Memorial in Germany, depicts a plethora of cobblestone-sized memorials with the names of individual victims from the Holocaust placed near the location where the victim used to live. Unlike one single large memorial or place of memory, these stumbling stones are scattered throughout Germany to serve as a constant reminder of the tragedies that transpired. Although the source serves more as a memorial than as an informative video, it does demonstrate that a place of memory does not necessarily have to be a tangible space or location, but rather a place where one is reminded of past events, such as the internet or a book. The final source, a video by Poverty Cure titled "Does Globalization Destroy Culture?", provides the positive and negative effects globalization has on local cultures while looking at Ireland and Irish culture as a case study. Although globalization can push a secularized, homogeneous view of the world that destroys traditional culture, it can also provide a platform for which traditional cultures can share their own beliefs, and it can allow cultures to better recognize the traditions and values worth holding on to. After reviewing the sources of the module, I got a chance to ask my coworker James Love, a fellow university student at Oxford Brookes University, about a realm of memory that is important to British culture, as well as to him.
I think for this we're going to go for Nelson's column, partly because it's a war monument, but at the same time, recent times, it's become quite controversial topic whether we should have imperialistic items or statues within the built environment.
Erected in the early 1840s, Nelson's column stands 169 feet tall, here in central London's Trafalgar Square, memorializing Admiral Horatio Nelson and his victory in the Battle of Trafalgar.
Nelson got shot in the last stages of it, and then we eventually won against the Spanish Armada. However, he was then rewarded with a statue, which obviously he didn't see himself. And for many generations, it stood tall and proud as a symbol of British people's ability to fend off against anything.
Revered as a war hero during his time alive, Nelson, and subsequently his column, have been the subject of recent controversy, as not only the column a symbol of British imperialism and conquest, but recent evidence has shown Nelson to be a severe white supremacist who defended and promoted slavery.
In the United States right now, we have a current issue of should we keep statues of kind of Civil War generals, especially those from the South who were supporting slavery. Do you think there's overlaps in these issues?
Slightly. Yes, slightly. I mean, you shouldn't obviously just get rid of all statues. One argument could be that you shouldn't get rid of all statues and all of your history, because before you know it, you won't have anything left. And you would rewrite a version of history which just purely isn't true. And keeping to that truth is very important.
Much like Pierre Nova's notion that a realm or place of history can change over time, Nelson's column has done exactly that. Perhaps Nelson was an esteemed hero during his day, and his discrimination was considered normal for the times and disregarded by citizens 150 years ago. However, his status in today's society, interpreted by those who never met him or the people who admired him, is probably not deserving of a statue.
I would say it's more of a metaphor to the entire country that if you start to try to rewrite your own history, suddenly it's not truthful, and eventually people just believe in something which just isn't truthful, and they don't truly stand up for it.